I'm on the front paper of the ground cover. This is really, really awesome. I'm so glad I'm finally on front cover of a newspaper again. It was quite a while since I've been on front cover. I used to be on the front cover all the time back when I had my goat. I was out here spreading dreams and trying to make the world a better place, right? And right now I'm living in my, right now I'm on a hard time trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I'm finally making dreams happen again. I'm working with the newspaper, trying to improve the newspaper, making it into something to make the world a better place, and helping everybody in the community through this newspaper. I'm going to make another video about that maybe at some point, hopefully. But basically, that's what I've been doing. Been working really hard with the newspaper. Trying to get some help and support, trying to talking to the city leaders and about how we want to be more of a city ambassadors and help, because this is the only newspaper left in Ann Arbor, really. I mean, yeah, there's still MLive, but they don't really have an office here. I mean, they still report here and stuff, and it's still the majority read newspaper, and it's still the more legit newspaper in town. But this is a community-based newspaper, and and there's only a small newspaper only written by a few people. There's 4 staff members, but there's a lot of people that volunteer to write these articles, and it's a really awesome little newspaper. It's a street newspaper. They're part of a national street newspaper society. Anyways, but the reason I'm in the front paper is because they needed a picture of somebody living in a car, right? The lady that wrote this article right here, she didn't want to take a picture of herself living in her car, even though she also living in her car. She's a little bit more modest than I am when it comes to those things. And the fact that she used to actually work for a newspaper. She actually used to work at an actual newspaper before they kind of downsized a lot. And so now she works at ground cover. And pretty much the whole premise of the article, which you can read it, is that that it's pretty much deadly to live in a vehicle. If you are homeless and you live in your vehicle, there's really no help for you. There's really no help for you. It can cost a lot of money to get your vehicle repaired. Sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands. Small repairs can cost you hundreds of dollars. And or 2000s. And sadly, most people that live in the vehicle doesn't have a safety blanket, big enough to cover repair of the vehicle. I recommend I try to keep a safety blanket for myself, enough money to fix, a vehicle if it breaks down. But I never really fit out that my bus would take as much money as it did to fix. I never thought it would be as, I should have just put a new engine in there a long time ago instead of trying to rebuild this engine. I should have, I wish I would have known that it needed an engine. But it ended up being cheaper to rebuild it than put a new engine. It just took a little bit longer. And we almost done. But yeah, so basically, it's just, but there's the biggest thing is there's no help. Most homeless shelters will help you with a place to stay, but who do you want to stay in a homeless shelter with literally every wacko in town? Literally every wacko, every homeless person in town. Do you really want to stay snug up next to every crazy person in town? Homeless shelters are not really a safe place to get help. and not really like a place that you really want to be. It's like, and like literally people say that it's almost worse than jail. Like the homeless shelters, like people like rather break, and that's probably one of the reasons that there are a lot of homeless people ending up in jail, because literally the jail is like a safer place than the shelters. And because you like literally snug up. Literally, they give you most co-night shelters. They literally give you a floor and a mat, like, and a blanket, one blanket, and I'm not a sheet and a blanket, which I think they should have to give you a sheet as well as a blanket. But it's just, I guess it's more laundry or level. They don't want to wash the sheets, which they should wash the blankets anyway. So I don't really see why that's making much more laundry. I don't know. It's just, I'm not that gay to cuddle up with every homeless person in town. So I choose not to go to the shelter unless I have to. Literally I go to the shelter and they literally, what can you help me? What we can give you if you show up at a certain time, we might be able to give you some food. I mean, really, I've been eating a lot of times at different churches and stuff, and that's one thing that they can give you is food, which is helpful. But other than that, they don't really have too many services for the people that choose to live in their vehicle. And it costs a lot of money to live in a vehicle, because even if it to eat and keep warm, you gotta run the vehicle. You keep cool, you gotta run the vehicle. You gotta drive to a new location, otherwise you end up getting a ticket. And if your vehicle do not run, then the odds of getting your vehicle impounded is like it's pretty much, if your vehicle is end up be like 100%, like in most cities, like in California, which is great that California actually have laws to protect people that lives in a vehicle. But like in most cities, like if your car is sitting on the side of the road for extended period of time, it's going to be impounded. And I mean, but yeah, you can still pretty much get away with parking pretty much anywhere, because you are a vehicle. The good thing and the bad thing is that you are treated no different than your other vehicle. If you live in your vehicle, most of the time you're treated no different than any other vehicle. So yeah, you can get away with parking your vehicle the side of the road or parking lots or stuff like that, but you only can get away with it to a point. And so a lot of people go to Walmart, but Walmart is no longer 24 hours. Ever since Walmart stopped being 24 hours, it's not really a good place to park 24 hours, because everybody's supposed to leave the parking lot as soon as the store closes. And that's go for most businesses. If the business closed, then a lot of cities and townships actually were running out of parking lot of closed businesses. So the best option then to sleep is a public parking. But some areas are really hard to find anywhere to park overnight. Because you're not allowed to, so. And I ran into that. I actually got a ticket for sleeping in my vehicle. I paid $150, for a ticket. Because a cop didn't like me sleeping on the side of the road in front of the church. It was, I seemed like to be a illegal parking spot. So, but I think they definitely need more help with people living in their vehicle. They need more assistance in paying mechanical repairs. I think there need to be more like mechanic garages that help people with mechanical breakdown, not just the homeless families. And mechanical repairs are expensive for a lot of people, and I think they definitely need some nonprofits, some that will help fix people's cars. And like a lot of times, like and I think there's definitely need more programs for teaching people how to work on their cars. So I think that's a really good thing, is that maybe we can have programs for like people teaching people how to work on vehicles, and then maybe with people that live in their car can have a way to make a living as well as maintain their vehicle. But not everybody is able to be a mechanic. If you're a little old lady, you ain't gonna be underneath the hood turning nuts and bolts. Let's be real. So they're still gonna need help. Other people are gonna need help working cars. But a good way of overcoming your problem by helping other people overcome their problems, and you learn from experience, so people could honestly there's a lot of opportunity at colleges to help repair vehicles, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for people to learn from repairing other people's vehicles, and people that are unable to work on vehicles could so yeah, maybe I once maybe that's something I should do once I get more stabilized, is build a mechanic clinic. That might be good. Like a shop, to teach people how to work on things. So I don't know. There's so many things I'm trying to do, and so little budget to do them, and it just so yeah. And it's just really frustrating that, like, if you don't want to get help the way that we want to help you, there's no help. We can give you, you can stay at a house shelter with a mat on the floor, or you can stay, or maybe eventually we can get your apartment on housing. Yeah, I went out to this one place in Arizona called Van Aid, and it was supposed to be kind of that kind of thing of like people helping each other work on their vehicle, and it was really awesome. I actually was one of the only people that actually was helping people work on their vehicle. I installed like a dozen solar systems at cost. I was like literally still installing solar systems literally at cost, and I literally got like parts, and it was able to source like parts for really cheap. So I was able to build systems for like, thousands of dollar systems for hundreds of dollars. And some people got kind of upset with me because I was charging for the some of the parts I had to source. But I was literally charging them pretty much at cost. I mean, but I was still had a really good experience of learning and building people rigs. I even helped this one lady with her wind turbine. It was really awesome. I study a lot of wind turbine technologies throughout the years, and it never helped. So I actually got experience building 2 wind turbines last year and putting them on people rigs. So I learned a lot, which wasn't too hard since I already done all the research on it. I just have it, I had the money or resources to personally buy a wind turbine, but I worked on other people with wind turbines, and it was really awesome and educational to do all that. So yeah. Well, hopefully we can get the bus running and I can go back to Arizona and help out with Van Aid next year, and maybe start some more Van Aid or other aid shops. Well, like we fix things and work on things and stuff like that. Well, I mean, is that the space, and the resources to do that. Where could we work on a vehicle? That's actually another thing is like, if your car breaks down, where can you go to work on your car? Some parts stores will let you work on a car in the parking lot. Some parts stores won't. That's been a problem before because when you live in your vehicle, the most convenient place to work on your vehicle is, of course, the parts store. Because if you need a part, you're there. And if you break something while you're fixing something, and you need another part, you are at the parts store. Or if you have the wrong part, you are at the parts store, so if you need a tool, you are at the store. So if you need, most of the time, it's most convenient to work on things at the parts store. But that's not always allowed, and you should always get a manager's permission before disassembling your vehicle in a lot, because sometimes they will literally come out there and tell you that's not allowed. And what are you going to do if you have your vehicle disassemble in the parking lot? It'd probably be damaging to your vehicle to be told why half disassembled. So yeah, I would not recommend that. And that's really scary thing about working on your vehicle is like, how are you able, when your vehicle is half disassembled, it's really hard to be able to move your vehicle. And that's one of the reasons I haven't really moved my bus yet, even though I should have done it a long time ago. Because it's hard to move vehicle while it's under construction. So also, I was in the article the other day about my bus, last week's order, newspaper, about my bus. So this is last week's newspaper. I'm not on the front cover, but because of the work that I've done with the paper and just so. So this is 8-page. And I actually wrote this article myself with a little help from the internet and AI. Amazing what this AI does. Now today, they literally help generate a whole article. I definitely had to give a lot of input and suggestions in order to make the article what it is. And you know, and the editor will help edit as well. So yeah. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I gotta go to bed. It's getting tired late.